It's time to get into the newspapers.
Before that, though, can we just celebrate the 1 week, 1 day memorial of that abysmal Hearts of Oak loss that they suffered? And hope that everyone is doing okay. Israel, I hope that you've recovered. How did you celebrate the 1 week?
Why would I celebrate that one?
Yeah, exactly. Why would?
But there's nothing wrong. I mean, I don't know why you're still fixated on this Hearts of Oak.
I shall be fixated forever. Actually, there was a match yesterday, wasn't there? Was it Hearts of Oak versus Legon Cities?
Yes.
Did you win?
No. But we didn't lose either.
Okay.
Hearts of Oak didn't lose.
Yeah, but you didn't win, which is a loss. We drew. Yeah, it's still a loss, Israel. But yeah, anyways, good morning to all Hearts of Oak fans, all Arsenal fans, all Bayern Munich fans, and because that's what Israel is going to say next. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. And it's great to be back. Okay, are you going to get into the daily graphic?
Well, yeah, and I would also want to use the opportunity to say thank you to Jojo Kobna for sitting in for Echo, producer.
Thank you, Jojo.
For the period that Echo was away, enjoying his leave.
Which is not pension.
Yeah.
And so he's back. Echo's back. And so, of course, the birthday wishes will also start coming back. Yeah, because Echo knows a lot of people celebrating their birthdays. But Echo, we missed you, so it's good to have you back. We're expecting breakfast, so.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's get into the newspapers. On the front page of the graphic, MPRA raises alarm bells. Only 6% informal sector workers on pension scheme. So only about 600,000 out of an estimated 10.2 million workers in the informal sector are currently enrolled on at least a pension scheme. The Chief Executive Officer of the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, Mr. Hayford Atakrufi, has disclosed. Now, this is something that the Senate has been talking about for a while now, actually trying to get as many of the informal sector workers on the pension scheme as possible. Because they don't have the structures in place, they are often sidelined. But they also need to have pension so that when they go on retirement, they can have, or they can no longer work, continue their informal professions. They can actually get something. Okay, so that's the story. On the main story on the front page. Then redeem climate change pledge, Chakwera to develop world. You know, there's a global climate conference taking place in Glasgow, and we'll be keeping you up to date. President Akufo-Addo is there actually. He's gone for the climate conference. So yeah, we'll be bringing you updates all through. Then moving on, health. Residents benefit from free spine adjustment. Use expertise to make Ghana vaccine manufacturing hub. Scientists have urged. And 26th Climate Summit, President off to Glasgow. So that's what I was telling you earlier. President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo is in Glasgow, Scotland for the 26th UN Conference of the Parties, a Global Leaders Summit on Climate Change. The president, who left Accra yesterday, is leading Ghana's delegation to the summit. A statement from the presidency yesterday said the COP26 summit, which will be one of the largest gatherings of world leaders, will bring parties together to accelerate action towards the goals of the Paris Agreement and the UN Framework Convention and on climate change. And over here in Ghana, I'm interested in knowing what we are doing as a country towards the climate change summit and to stop or halt global warming or slow down global warming. Government invests $1 billion in TVET institution. Unwanted incarceration. It's in politics. There's some issues here that come up. And investigate Mohammed's allegations. The MPP is urging the police. Security personnel pursue Sosu at church. That's one of the things we're talking about this morning. The police have issued a statement to that effect. They're saying that they didn't pursue, they were not the ones going for him in church. And the people who the security officers were seen were there on an intelligence operation, but they don't They were not sent by the police. Committee set up to investigate disturbances at Swami Police Station. So there was some disturbance at a police station at Swami, where we're learning that some soldiers attacked the police station after one of their own was arrested for a traffic offense. And the police, in fact, there was a joint statement from the military and the police, and they're indicating that they're going to investigate that matter. Let's move on to other stories in the Daily Graphic. So businesses need to strategize under COVID-19. Indeed, they need to. WIPA Authority supports beneficiary of livelihood projects. The WIPA Authority has handed over fish ponds to 39 groups of 117 people at Bui, a resettlement community in the Banda district of the Bono region. And then High Court upholds ENI Springfield unitization. The purpose of executing the UUOA was to give full effect to the government's directive to unitize the Afina and Sankofa fields. Dr. Frank Eweje donates maternity block to KNUST. That's commendable. Thank you. And there are a number of properties for sale they've been advertised here in the Daily Graphic, quite a number of them. Defective tires, major cause of road traffic accidents. A lot of people do not know that the tires have expiry dates, whether they have been used or not. So, yes, it's true. They have expired this. Cecil Gabriel has been talking about that for some time now, so you just need to know. Let's go to the center spread. On current LGBTQI plus controversies, disagreement with pro-advocacy group. So based on this is by Reverend Father Emmanuel Abekwe. He says, based on this, I contend that the government of every country has a right to restrict the exercise of rights if it believes that the conduct of some private affairs of citizens can lead to negative repercussions. Then there's also this piece on frequent African coups. Does it lie within political fault zone? And NPRA opens fifth office in Tema. So the National Pensions Regulatory Authority has opened its fifth office in Tema. Says the opening of the Tema NPRA office coincided with the Awareness Week celebration targeted at deepening educating Ghanaians on the Tier 3 pensions in relation to the informal sector. Continuous disinfection of airports builds resilience against COVID-19. But this disinfection of airports and the disinfection exercise, really, I wonder if it actually works, because you can defect and then the next minute you have people come in and they infect. So
they reinfect.
Yeah, they reinfect. So I'm wondering whether it is relevant for us to continue disinfecting, because the disinfection also costs money and it comes at a cost.
I mean, I think the immediate argument that I would come up with is the amount of what should I call it, the virus or the amount of, I mean, so obviously
or the prevalence of the virus.
Exactly. So, you know, the less, when you disinfect, you clear the whole table, for example, and then, you know, somebody comes and puts a little spot here. Obviously, it doesn't compare to the whole table being dirty. So.
Well, yeah, anywhere on the table, but it's more about the aerosols that are in the environment. So if it's in an airport, you know, 1 minute you disinfect one day, the next minute people flood the airport and they reinfect it with the aerosols. That's the point I was trying to make. Okay, in business, Graphic Business Stanbic breakfast meeting, experts to discuss pre-2022 budget tomorrow. We're talking about that last Friday. So yes, looking forward to that. LGBTQ plus practice inimical to country's culture values. Most Reverend Philip Name. And breast cancer patients cautioned against use of herbs. You know, when people get breast cancer, apparently some people tend to use herbs. and hope that it's going to go away, or they believe that it's going to go away. But turns out that the herbs actually don't work. It's better to follow the protocols. And all right, 4 million more COVID-19 vaccines coming. Yay! So that's the Ministry of Health says Ghana is expecting about 4 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines in the next 3 weeks. The Chief Director of the Ministry of Health, Mr. Kwabena Boadu Oku Afare, has announced out of the 4 million, 3.5 million will be from Pfizer. That's wonderful. So the Pfizer is the single dose. So yes, that's 3.5 million people going to be vaccinated. That's wow. All right. So yes, we should be excited, and you should be out there taking advantage of the vaccination exercises.
Yeah, definitely.
I've been saying that we'll try and get the Ghana Health Service to share with us the places that people can go to get vaccinated, so we can share that with you. Fraud, limited funds affect NHIS implementation. It says in spite of the challenges, the NHIS has successfully enrolled 16 million active members, representing 52% of the population. Okay, that's good. GES promotes award-winning teachers. Each of the teachers was promoted from their current rank to the next rank ahead of them as a means of motivating them. So that's also really good. Police Service opens expanded chapel. So the Ghana Police Service has opened this newly expanded and remodeled Ghana Police Church Chapel. That's somewhere around 37 Military Hospital. And 50 HR practitioners inducted into Institute, Ethiopia Understudies Nursing and Midwifery Council's system. And tobacco use threat to public health. That's the FDA saying that. Let's go to the sports page. Hearts give up on Awako. Says player not registered for Premier League, so Awako won't be featuring for Accra Hearts of Oak. And then table tennis, Eva Kome win Homowo Challenge Championship. And on the back page, Hearts split points with Legon Cities. They didn't lose.
Okay, let's go into the Ghanaian Times this morning. Front page of the Ghanaian Times. President leads Ghana's delegation to UN COP26 in Scotland. I'll support fight against illegal sale of bone Katamanso lands. Just One Group tops Ghana Business Awards. And health alert, there's a strange disease outbreak in Savannah region. 8 people dead so far. They're suspecting that it's yellow fever, but hasn't been fully confirmed yet. 1 died, 2 injured in gas explosion. Now, 2 suspects have been arrested for blocking the China Mall entrance. And if you've been following the story, you know that there's a China Mall that's going to be set up close to the West Hills Mall. And so a couple of people from the West Hills Mall were actually James Mensah, the facility manager of West Hills Mall, and Samuel Anumeje, a contractor. And custody of the Wager police assisting in investigations. Apparently, some people went to pour some blocks and stuff, to kind of block the entrance of this said China Mall, which, I don't know, yeah. So anyway, it's going to bring some competition.
It's lawless.
Competition.
I mean, it's lawlessness, so the police should deal with it.
No, it's definitely...
how do you block a competitor's entrance? It shouldn't happen.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. But I have all sorts of feelings about this, though, because you can understand. Well, I mean, you can understand without agreeing with what it feels like when, like, a China Mall is going to be come and set up, near a West Hills Mall, which has different shops from different countries, so South Africa shop, right, Ghanaian shops, and all of that. And then there's China Mall, where everything is like, it kind of just, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, but you can't.
You can't do that, obviously. Yeah. But, sometimes I wonder about how some of these permits are issued. Do some of these things, are they factored into consideration?
Yeah.
About the fact that you're kind of just killing, basically.
Because already the West Hills Mall is challenged because the number of shops
have shut down.
Shut down.
Yeah. Already, so and then China Mall, and everybody's gonna throng to the China Mall because there's 2 cities, 5 cities, everything's.
But you see, when you also do this, you're actually, now that the issue is in the news, everybody has become aware that there's a China more.
Well, either ways, we were going to be aware at some point, sooner rather than later, in this case. Okay, First Lady rally support for Kolebu Teaching Hospital. And there's some notices by the Narcotics Control Commissioner about those of you who have been growing things in your backyard and in your bedrooms and pots and stuff. It's like, y'all better stop. Y'all need to chill. Stop growing illegal things in your backyards and your gardens.
What are the illegal things?
I don't know.
They are plants. They could just have been sprouting.
They don't just sprout. They
possible.
really just don't sprout. As in like they carried in the wind.
Yes.
From where? From another illegal site.
It could be birds. It could be
high birds. Like the birds were high. And then they dropped them. Israel power. Superstition fueling lack of patronage of blood donation. Okay. Surgeon advises women to practice self-breast examination. I hope that this past October you went out and got your breast examined. World AIDS Day launched. Government to amend 3% holding tax on unprocessed minerals. Okay. Secular economy will open markets for Ghanaians' economy. Aguero taken to hospital after suffering chest discomfort. Ghanaian football talent Ryan Pepra dreaming big. Bayern Munich bounces back. That's amazing for Bayern Munich, who was being used as an example for the Hearts of Oak fiasco. The Hearts of Oak tragedy, I think that's what we're calling it. They've bounced back. Hearts of Oak clearly hasn't. Okay, Ronaldo hails Man United performance against Spurs. Zaha suffers racist abuse on social media after a win with City. And on the back page, Kotoko Thrash dreams in comeback win. Because that's just how we do. Cities hold hearts. Hearts of Oak failed to pluck a win in their opening tie of the Ghana Premier League against Legon Cities at the Accra Sports Stadium. Asante Kotoko, on the other hand, staged a remarkable comeback when they scored 3 times in the last 5 minutes to beat Dreams FC 3-1. That's how you do it.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Let's go to the finder.
You have nothing to say?
No.
Oh.
Let's go to the finder. 8 died from suspected yellow fever outbreak in Savannah region. That's the Ghana Health Service saying that. ACA deal is key to GMP's 15-year ambition to become standalone operator by 2035. That's the CEO of GMPC saying that. So, and then investors flee T-bills due to drop in interest rates and opt for bond market. 4-member committee to investigate attack on Swami Police Station. And then Health Services Workers Union calls off strike. That's interesting. We should find out how all that is playing out in the regions and the hospitals where once they went on strike, there was nothing really happening. The hospitals were filthy, smelling, and all of that, and patients were very uncomfortable. Let's see how it goes now that they've called off the strike. That'll be it for me for the finder.
Okay, so just in under a minute, I'll just run through the daily guide. 117 get fish ponds from Bree Power Authority. Arrest them or 2-4 charges police. Police chase Medina MP to church. NDC accepted election 2020 results. So Motumfo is backing the Ghana Police and the NRSA to deal with anybody who would hide behind the Marshall Palace to flout road traffic regulations. And the police also went to Francis Xavier Sosu's church, the Believers Church at Ritz Junction in Medina, where the MP was said to be worshipping yesterday, I guess in an attempt to arrest him. But, you know, the Speaker of Parliament did give a directive.
So this one says police, but the police is saying that they don't know anything.
They don't know anything about it. Okay.
I mean, they didn't send people.
But there were police there. HIV, that's very interesting. HIV fund in the offing. International stories. Sudan's anti-coup protests continue after deadly crackdown. Huge blaze shuts fuel pipeline in South Africa. And let me just do quickly, obviously the 409 law students case adjourned. We'll be having that conversation later on, so I'll just leave it. But in entertainment news, Zandi Kamel's marriage breaks down. That story. The Manifest Medina Singing Verse album for November 17, and Bulldog thanks President Akufo-Addo for dropping his threat.
So Zandi Kamel has been trending over the weekend because she put out a video where she's crying and she's calling out the side chick of the husband,
who used to be his ex apparently, and also his her best friend, who says that she actually stole. It's just the whole thing is just
so much drama. And apparently there's a video too that has surfaced of Zandi Kamel indicating that, yeah, I mean, as side chicks are very important. And as side chicks, if you lose God, will take your husband.
Wow.
That was before. And
wow,
now,
interesting.
You call it karma, right?
Yeah, I guess we call it karma. Unfortunate though, but that's it. Should we do My Joy Online
yes,
really quickly?
Let's do My Joy Online.
Okay, let's be careful we don't create a monster out of the IGP. That's Muntaka speaking. Further down, it's wrong to resist arrest even if you have not committed a crime. Legal practitioner. Backbench summon of police officers is out of order. Also by another lawyer. Akufo-Addo attends COP26 summit in Glasgow. Police bodyguard of Medina MP interdicted. That's going to Muntaka. When able to release Francis Xavier Sosu to you, Parliament tells police, Health Service Workers Union call off the strike. We thank God for that. We need a definition of what a parliamentary duty is. And day 4 of the JoyNews Habitat Fair 2021 ends today, I believe.
Yes, it ends today, and I was there yesterday. And there's quite a bit to get to see when you go to the fair. So please make your way there if you haven't already. It's the final day.
Okay, well, that's it for the news review. The sports is coming up right after we take a break. And of course, we have some very interesting conversations for you. So we'll be talking National Science and Maths quiz and all the highlights, all the diesels. We'll also be having that conversation about those 499 law school students who were unable to gain admission to the Ghana School of Law, Makola, as we know it, and what's happening there. We have some interesting guests coming through to have that conversation. So stay tuned in. You don't want to go anywhere. You definitely don't want to miss the coming conversations.